Hey, what's up, guys? Happy to be back with you here again. We're going to do a really, really quick video here for you today because we're back up to the training part of the game right now. And you're probably sitting there wondering, as I've wondered before, about like what makes good training, what makes poor training. I'm going to be honest with you. When you see something like this, everybody having good training sessions, I don't think it really necessarily has that much to do with like how good your training is. I've seen this with good training setups. I've seen this with bad training setups. Honestly, I think that this is mostly a reflection of the professionalism level of your squad and of the players in general. I would always watch out, especially for players who wind up over here in the worst category, who wind up over there like over and over again, right? So when we go through this and we see some of these players, the good players tend to be in general the ones who we're going to hold on to long term. Now, these players, of course, if you watch my other videos with these flags, are players we're going to end up selling because there's something bad about them, like they're inconsistent or they have a crappy personality or something like that. This one's probably inconsistent. A lot of these guys who are not so good. This is back from the January transfer window when I bought every good goalkeeper in the entire country. These players are really upset with me because I'm obviously not playing them because they're not good enough. So we just sort of hold on to them until my staff tells me that it's time to get rid of them, right? So that's kind of what happens. And then some of these guys, Franco Biko was a player that we just signed. I think he's from the Philippines. Yeah, he is from the Philippines. Just signed him. He has a problem with injuries. Pretty bad signing on our part, but I figured, what the heck? I mean, he costs like nothing, so got him anyway. Not good training. My point here, though, is that the training is usually not necessarily a sign of a player who is like really upset about something. Rather, I believe it's honestly probably tied to some sort of combination of like how the player is meshing with the squad and what the player's professionalism level is. So I've learned as I've gone along with Football Manager that players who have good levels of professionalism in general will train well, like no matter what. Players who are meshing well with the squad and who have good relationships with other players or good relationships with you will tend to train well. And then guys who end up having poor training ratings, and this one's not even really that bad, will end up like if it happens over and over again, that's a sign that he's probably not so professional and that in the end maybe you need to sell him. So I'll show you the channel legend, since I know some of you weren't around when we still had this guy. Huang Bowen. Huang Bowen was our striker, Chinese striker, for a little while. When we look at the history, we can see that we bought him for 3.75 million renminbi from Yunnan. And then we sold him after half a season over to Kichi, even though he had 15 goals out of 17 appearances for us. In the league, it was 15 goals out of 12 starts, 5 substitute appearances. I mean, the guy's a great player, right? You're looking at it, you're like, you're crazy. Why would you sell him over to Hong Kong? Well, the reason why we sold him is because he just wasn't training, and he was upset because I bought another player, and he threw a big fit and all this stuff. I mean, don't put up with that crap, right? And of course, yes, if the player is feeling upset about like whatever the reason is, he's going to end up not training well, and then you have to fight with him about that. And so we got in one of these, little in-game fights where I was like, you don't train well, and he says something, and then I say something else. In the end, I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to sell you. So I sold him, and now he's in Hong Kong. So, I mean, great. He plays for Kichi, 6 goals out of 9 appearances. It's great, 6.89 rating. They might win the Hong Kong, what is it called? Hong Kong First Division, whatever it is, and that's more than fine. They can go ahead and do that. He doesn't have anything all that negative, but our coaches think that he would be maybe a good signing and probably don't really recommend that I sign him. So goodbye to Huang Bowen. And really, that's what I recommend doing. I mean, if you get guys over here in the worst all the time and they start fighting with you, you should think about selling them. Don't waste all of your time in game doing that, and especially watch out that they don't like have some anger and then they infect other players because they're like really, prominent or something like that. If that starts happening, get rid of the guy as fast as you can. Do whatever you can to just get him off the squad, or take him off the senior squad, put him on the under-19s, right? So he can't influence the other members of the squad. Do something like that. I don't care how good he is, just get rid of him. Right? I mean, your 16-year-olds aren't that bad. You can put them in and just have them like take the position for a while. Don't let that happen. Don't let the morale fall apart. Anyway, that's my little spiel on this. Honestly, I think this has less to do with what your training actually is, more to do with the professionalism of your players. Love to hear what your thoughts are and what your experience is. Talk to you later. Bye.